welcome to my YouTube channel, guys. Today I am going to make a new video, so please whatever. I want to reach 1 million likes, so please sarapakarai. Yes. Okay, thank you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Krithvi, and this is my beautiful co host Mahima, and this is part 2 of our episode for manifestation. So, in the first episode, if you haven't checked it out before, please do check it out. But in the first episode, we kind of took a deep dive into the concept of manifestation and the crazy ways that it's worked for us in our lives. But we wanted to shift gears a little bit. There are a few questions that kind of popped up while we were researching on this podcast. And my biggest question was, if our thoughts can create reality, can you manifest bad stuff to other people? Because I don't know about you, but from my boyfriend to the Prime Minister of India, I have those days when I'm just like, "Macha sala."
इस सज्जन को क्या तकलीफ है भाई?
Oh God, I really think I'm gonna go to jail in December. Anyway, anyway, take a step back. Isn't nazar or evil eye, that the whole world calls it, basically the dark side of manifestation to harm others?
Yeah.
Literally, how many times your mother, your nani, your dadi, your chachi has said to you that, like, you know, nazar na lag jaye, sundar lag rahi hai, kala tika laga le, kajal laga le, shit like that. And in within that, there's a range, you know, it goes from simply putting a kala tika to a baby, or like, you know, kajal and all, to saying, don't tell about your new job to anyone.
ये बातें बताई नहीं जाती, नजर लग जाती है.
In fact, if you probably live in India, you have seen trucks which says buri nazar wale tera muh kala. So yeah, I think there's a lot. It's a pretty big concept of the dark, and that's essentially the dark side of manifestation.
But like you said, it's become such a big concept that literally everybody that I see posting pictures of their family or their partners or their dogs are posting it with that evil eye symbol so much. So I think I saw someone review their clothes that they'd bought from a certain brand, and usko wo likh rahi hai, your stuff is so great, thank you so much. And then the evil eye sign ki tuko nazar na lag jaye. Just like, wait, what the fuck is happening?
Actually, couple of days back, there was there's a influencer. Her name is Sanjana Rishi, and I'm completely in awe of her. She's like the best, coolest person ever. I literally texted her.
She
She
is.
never replied to me, but like, yeah, she's damn fucking cool. So she literally put a post like, I think a week or something back, and where she talks about how when she made her account public, she was posting these like super fucking hot pictures of her baby bump, and
Yeah.
hundreds of women were texting her saying that, you know, nazar lag jayegi, don't do this, apna matlab dikhao mat aisa, baby will fall sick, blah 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 blah. And one day during the shoot or something, she got so stressed that she actually ended up in a hospital, but nothing happened to her baby, which is great. She's still enjoying an SF or something. I love the woman story. I'm obsessed with you, please reply back. But when she was in the hospital, it was literally just stress induced, you know. And she talks about in a post how when she was in the hospital during the process of, you know, figuring out if something has happened or not, all she could think of that all these people who reached out to her, everyone would have blamed her for doing this to herself and bringing the whole bad, you know, anything happening to her baby on herself, because she decided to look super hot and she decided to, you know, own herself up.
सब बोलते तेरी वजह से हुआ है, like देख नजर लग गई, we told you not to do this. No, I
Told you
totally
not to do
agree.
it, yeah. Like nazar in general, like when someone says ki ye mat karo, tumko nazar lag jayegi, like, you know, don't look good, you are at the end of the day manifestation, right? Going back to that concept, when you say things like that, you are making this person think in negative way about themselves. Correct. Only, right? Which in turn, like bad thoughts, bad reality, you know, like you are pushing them when they don't, you're being on the whole negative spiral thoughts, you know.
Even worse, it makes us feel that if we are doing really well, then something will go bad to us because other people are jealous or envious, or they're not aligned with what we are doing, right? Because and that can be so confusing because it will cause so much guilt. Because, honestly, ask yourself, how many of us are actually happy, like truly, genuinely, authentically happy when people around us, our peers, our colleagues, do better than we do? Like, you know, even when you guys were in America last last year, and I had to move back. There was a time in my life where I had to mute all of your stories on Instagram because I was like, they are there and I'm not there. Like, why? Like, why does she have it and why don't I have it? You know, you're my best friend. I wasn't manifesting anything bad to you, but inherently there was a feeling of jealousy. And you know, like it could range from your idiot colleague getting a promotion to, you know, your a girl you don't like dating your best friend. So many girls are going to think that I'm talking about them
Ouch.
right now. I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about myself. Don't worry. But it's just natural human behavior to be jealous. Now if you tell that person that you also have the power to make something bad happen to a, like, world would be really fucking different if
And so the whole nazar concept, the evil eye concept, literally dates back to 6th BC, before Christ. Like, and humans inherent, like our whole species, such a stupid species. Over 40% of world's population, like billions of people, believe in it. You know, and the fun fact is that this whole nazar concept is not even Indian, which was a very shocking thing for me.
yeah.
Nazar literally comes from a Turkish word. It's not even an Indian word. So I was like, oh my god, like whole world is fucking crazy.
No, I totally agree. And I mean, if the whole burning seeds and kadi patta and all that weird chalk lagana and garden mein feckna
Bro,
works for you.
मेरी मम्मी तो literally बोलती है कि जब भी मैं बीमार भी हो जाऊं कि ऐसे put salt in your fucking मुट्ठी and then ऐसे कर. So yeah, then twice I did it. Third time, like, are you fucking crazy woman? Like, what are you saying?
Exactly. But like, again, not here to hurt any sentiments because we are all, I agree, we are all attached to certain traditions and rituals that make us feel safe and more in control. So like I said, like if it works for you, kar lo. But I and Mahima, I think we both believe that a lot of this nazar crap was just another way in this inherently patriarchal society to assign shame and blame to people, especially women, for things that are not in their control. Like Sanjana, I think,
Yeah.
sorry, what's her name? Sanjana, right?
Sanjana Rishi, yeah.
Sanjana, imagine being that pregnant lady, like 8 months pregnant lady in the hospital, feeling that fuck, I've caused something so bad happen to my baby because I am posting and looking hot on Instagram.
And I also think, like Prithvi just said, by going by that, nazar, especially in India, in our culture, is very sexist, you know, because like think about it, girls literally are told to put kajal, which also dates back to, you know, all these like crazy nazar BC or whatever, and
Nazar BC.
they put I don't know, whatever.
You made a time period, Nazar BC.
Nazar BC,
Nazar
yeah.
Benchot.
And put kajal since like girls in the older days to like protect themselves from the glaze of all these like men and like,
so
you know, in
much so
general.
it's become inherently part of our culture now. Like we wear kajal on a daily basis. It
Daily
went
basis,
from what
yeah.
to what, yeah.
To what? And on top of that, leave kajal. Okay, you might have whatever arguments, but Mangal Sutra that we wear, all these Bulgari, blah, 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 like all these Mangal Sutra that fucking Priyanka Chopra. Yeah.
Sabyasachi
All these
also.
Mangal Sutra. Quoting Google Mata, okay, on this, the significance of Mangal Sutra is to show devotion of women towards their husband to ward off any evil eye for the couple. The fuck, like the fuck. Why don't men wear stuff like that? If I get married to a guy, why doesn't he wear it to protect me from evil eye? Like what the hell? Like
Anyway,
why
you're gonna
is
be
all the
hotter than
blame-
him.
Yeah, or मेरे को ज़्यादा नजर लगेगी, right? Or all the blame, like, why should I be saving him? Why is he not saving me from all the fucking nazar eye? So this whole concept is pretty sexist inherently. So I don't know.
I agree. And I don't think we should make our stupid species believe that they have a power to cause any change in anybody else's life. Because honestly, the way at least I live my life is that you can only be accountable for yourself.
So, speaking of ourselves, do you think, geeks, can we manifest bad things into our lives? Can we manifest tragedies? Like it can like literally range from one of those days when you are, you know, late to work, which literally happened to me 2 days back. I was thinking about it. When you're late to work, you are in a fucking bad mood. And then you reach there, or tomorrow, yes, coffee, like literally coffee fell on myself. And you know, you start this whole domino effect of having a terrible day. Like things like, you know, I saw this person's face, so my whole day is gonna go bad just because you're inherently in a bad mood. To these long-term phases when the whole life is going wrong, and we kind of get into the whole spiral of not just a bad day, it's a bad life, you know. मैं ही बहन जो सबसे बुरी हूँ, like, you know, I'm the worst person. You feel like dying. This is the end and everything.
Yeah, मेरे साथ तो कभी कुछ अच्छा नहीं होगा.
होता
No,
है.
very, very valid question. So I'm not going to touch on extreme personal tragedies here because honestly, we did a lot of research and there's a lot of uh, convoluting information about this online, and because I really don't think you can manifest accidents or illnesses or things like that. But if the question is limited to your general, I'm at rock bottom or my day is gonna go bad, I can offer some perspective. The thing is, when things are not going our way, we are constantly thinking about things that we don't want. Like you said, when you were running late, you were probably thinking कि fuck, आज तो कुछ मेरे साथ बुरा होगा ही. तो होता है कि
Yeah.
कॉफी भी गिरी, बॉस ने भी गांड मारी, पार्किंग भी नहीं मिली, पार्किंग छोड़, टायर भी
Mhm.
पंक्चर होगा. Overall, it's going to be a potty day. But
Potty,
then
yeah.
it this negative spiral applies to big and longer term phases in life also, especially when one aspect of our life is not one or more aspects of our life is not working out. We're not talking to ourselves with kindness at all. We're always saying, I'm never going to lose weight, I won't ever get a good job, I
Mhm.
won't ever love again. And this is honestly my personal favorite because I said this full shit that said at 16 I'm never going to love again, and since then I've fallen in love 3 times, 4 if you count Fawad Khan. So you know, that's
Oh
how we're like
God.
talking to ourselves.
And oh God, if you go back to like, I mean, the OG definition of manifestation, which I just said before that, which is basically your feelings. If can feelings, yeah, yeah.
Don't
Let's see, I want to feel.
Mahima showing her boobs because tits get engagement.
Also, your feelings basically become thoughts, and thoughts become action, and action becomes reality. I know there are a lot of times when I can't name my feelings, and I get into the spiral. I'm just thinking bad
Yeah.
constantly, and that is how I'm feeling. My reality becomes bad. Everything around me become bad.
Think of it this way, okay, let me give a technical example. I'm also smart
Okay.
sometimes. So let's say you're browsing new music on YouTube. Okay,
Mhm.
you're really feeling rap, but you don't want to listen to any pop music, so you
Mhm.
search for yes Travis Scott, no Katy Perry, and no Lady Gaga, no Beyonce.
Hey. No one says no to Beyonce. Okay, Beyonce Grover right here. Shut the fuck up.
Okay, I'm sorry. They remove Beyonce from the equation. So we say
Okay.
no, yes, Travis Scott, no Lady Gaga, no Katy Perry. What will the search results show you? They will show you yes, Travis Scott and Katy Perry and Lady Gaga, because the computer absolutely doesn't give a shit about your no. It picks up on your keywords and gives you exactly that. And this is exactly how the universe works. If you're talking to yourself in this way, like, I don't want to fail in this relationship again, I don't want to become fat again, or if you're talking in that language, the universe is not going to listen to your no. It's going to just
Mhm.
listen to, I want to fail in my relationship again, and that's what's going to happen. You will, by hook or by crook, fail in your relationship again. So when we are in these situations, this is where we need to create a shift in our thoughts and create that subsequent paradigm shift in our lives, because we will always have sad days, right? We will always have sad times, and there is no advice here that's telling you to be blindly toxically positive all the time ki nahi sab kuch badhiya. It doesn't work like that, and it is obviously healthy to explore your full spectrum of emotions, but you have to absolutely believe that you are going to have a better tomorrow. No matter what you're going through, it is going to get better. When you're in these dumps, like when you feel like your life has hit rock bottom and things are really not going your way, uh, it's really difficult to feel like you're going to come out of it, right? And at any color you like, we've kind of labeled them transition periods because we hope that this is something we talk about further, because these are times that can actually feel like a really dark hole that you keep digging in. But we believe these are also the times where mercurial change can happen.
So transition period means a lot to me because I just went through one like couple of months back. Little story time, guys. In the beginning of this year, I did not get my US visa, my US H1B work visa for the third time in a row, which left me with like essentially two choices. Either I go back to school, do my PhD or whatever somehow, or leave the country.
Yeah.
And I have lived in this country for 7 years at that point. I have friends in every state. My boyfriend is here, ex-boyfriend is here. I had my dog, my roommate. I was living the best fucking life ever. And I was having a great time. And of course, I did not want to leave, and I did not want to push myself into like, going for masters when I don't want to do it. Right now I was not ready. And also another thing that I just before that, when the year started, I had applied for my PhD last year. And I having good grades, having a great profile. I applied to just big schools. Literally, whosoever saw my profile, they were like, you should just aim for Harvard, Stanford, and all. And even Kriti edited my essay, like it was a huge thing. But surprise, I did not get anywhere. I didn't like. I saw starting from this year just rejections after rejections after rejection after rejections. And and at that point I couldn't even like move back to India because there's nothing called gene editing and CRISPR and everything, right? Abhi like India mein science bahut dur hai, wahan pe abhi bhi gau mata se corona bhaga rahe hain, pee rahe hain, nah rahe hain, shit like that. Oh god. So they, like that was not going to happen. For a few days I was really lost and I was confused and I was like, what now? Like I remember talking to Kriti about it, and I had put so much to build my life here. Now what?
No, it wasn't a few days. I think it was a tough few months. But I remember, Mahima, you were pretty dejected. Obviously, anybody would have been. But I remember one thing, Mahims, that you said that stayed with me, which I'm sure will sound so cringy right now, but it is true that you said to me, you know what? It's been 7 years. I've given so much to this country and it still doesn't want me. So fuck that. Fuck him, fuck America. I'm going to make my place somewhere else in the world where, when, how, dekha jayega. And I've been thinking about it a lot because if half of the world said that to their toxic partners, life would be very, very different. And I mean, 3 months later, you're sitting in Europe. Your whole PIN code has changed.
Oh god, yeah. So this transition period has been the craziest, I don't know, manifestation at all, everything coming together kind of a story for me, because it happened out of nowhere. I still remember the day my boss told me that, you know, we don't want to lose you, so you're going to a Belgium office. And there was and at that time I was the first person to move across, you know, our company branches, because there has been, my company is still in the growth phase, so there has been no one who had done that before. They were also figuring it out with me, but there was this 100% crazy support from them for me to make this transition, you know. And it literally came out of nowhere. But you know what is still the craziest part? Yeah, I moved, a lot of people move across, you know, different I don't know, like I know a lot of people who just move companies when they don't get H1B. Yeah, but the craziest fucking part is that I moved to this country called Belgium. Yeah, such a random country on the map.
Why Belgium?
This is where how manifestation really blows my mind, guys. This is where all the manifestation comes into play. So another story time. When I was younger, I was like 13 years old. It was 2009 or 2010, and that was the first time in my life on YouTube I saw Tomorrowland. And when I saw Tomorrowland at the age of 13, for me it was like, what the fuck is that? No idea where this place is, nothing. And that's when I remember Googling Belgium for the first time in my life, where Belgium is, like, whatever. And I, all my life, from the 13-year-old Mahima to 25-year-old Mahima now, I have just fantasized about Tomorrowland. And of course, it was such a random, out of place for going out of way place for me, because I was not going to tell my parents कि मुझे 6-7 लाख दो, मुझे जाना है techno party में drugs करके मजे करने के लिए, like, you know, they खींच के थप्पड़ पड़ता है. It's not, there's no idea how I'm going to make it there. And then I was in America. It was just so out of the way. So 15 years later, I am living now 30 fucking minutes away from the place where Tomorrowland happens. I still remember in college, I would put up like parties and stuff. I had a Tomorrowland flag and I was just so fucking obsessed with it. My wallpaper, my phone, everything was just Tomorrowland, because I'm such a huge techno fan. And I don't know how manifestation works, guys. This is when I truly believed, you know, somehow some crazy power in the universe is in play, and it worked in my favor because I believed myself in that transition period. Even though whatever I was going through, I was very sure something good is going to happen by the end of it. Even if I go back to India, I don't give a fuck. I believed in myself.
I would anyway pick Tomorrowland over doing a PhD. So it worked out well. मेरी ticket भी बेच देना साथ में, ठीक है? मैंने बताया manifestation क्या होता है.
Who are you?
Who are you? पता था मुझे.
यहाँ ब्रो मेरी एक किडनी चली गई है Tomorrowland के लिए देते.
No, it's awesome. I love this story because it kind of reminds me of my New York story, and it tells me how manifestation is just this background task manager running in your brain, making all your random dreams come true in the most cryptic and mysterious ways possible. And all you need to do is be kind to yourself and believe that your life is going to turn out the best way possible. So remember that, guys. That's A1 advice.
Yeah, it is also helpful to not expect yourself to be in full control of your thoughts all the fucking time. In fact, according to me, it's extremely taxing. I mean, you have more than 6,000 thoughts a day, and if you're an overthinking like us, you're probably having millions of thoughts a day. So, exception, like, especially, it's really true with people with mental health issues. Like I said, I'm bipolar. I have my days where I am literally going through like streaks of just overthinking. And no one chooses to be depressed. It's literally these neurotransmitters in your fucking brain
Yeah.
acting up, you know?
And it's also, I think, extremely true for people who have OCD, right? Who are constantly trying to control their thoughts. If they start doing that, then it's going to be so much more detrimental than it's going to be helpful. But even if we
Mhm.
scale it back to just ourselves, I think there will always be days when our anxiety will take over our thoughts and contaminate them, right? We've talked about how it's not an expectation to be toxically positive all the time. And this
Mhm.
can lead to a vicious cycle of not treating our mental health the right way and then feeling guilty for manifesting negative things in our life. So it just becomes this big hamster wheel that you cannot get off. And it's in times like this where it's really important to treat ourselves with compassion and feel deserving of whatever it is that we don't have at the moment. Like, we saw in Mahima's story, she was getting rejections after rejections. Like, for her,
Oh
being a
my
scientist,
God.
having published journals and getting the best grades, it's not easy to accept that. What the fuck, like, why am I failing? But she didn't choose to believe that I'm a failure because I wasn't able to get these things done for me. Instead, she chose to believe that something good is going to come out no matter what it is, because she's done her work, and that is why things ended up working out for her.
If you're someone who's dealing with like a lot of mental health issues, you can't control your thoughts, and then trying to control your thoughts will do you more harm than good, then don't. But don't be sad, dosto. There's simply a way for you to manifest, and that is meditation. This little guy can literally rewire your mind. If you don't believe me, just type neuroplasticity and meditation, just two keywords on Google, and Google Mata will help you out with like all the articles and stuff. And it has been proven by science. Even if you take out 5 to 10 minutes a day, sit in silence, those 5 minutes that you spend with yourself will offer you more perspective than you can imagine. I
Yeah.
really, really, really believe that a silent mind can attract a lot of abundance, you know. So those 5 10 minutes that I spend every day for myself, I have seen myself going from someone who is extremely reactive to someone who can name her emotions, who can more proactive, you know. In the morning, before leaving work, or I'm just not feeling good, I'm feeling very out of place, I just go out on a walk, I practice my mindfulness, and it just aligns me back to where I am, to where I want to be. So if you guys, someone who doesn't know where to start, here's an actionable thing how I got started on it. I started from this app called Headspace. I started their basic courses. I did like, 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minutes, to now I can fucking go an hour doing it, and I cannot go without doing it in my life.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, start
Andy's
from
voice
there.
is super sexy.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, it's like that British accent. I love it, you know. It's like meditation is honestly one of those things, remember when Game of Thrones first 3 seasons came and you were like, no, like it's, we don't want to watch it. Too many people watch it. It's cliche and all. But when you watch it, you're like,
You're
why
like,
didn't I
oh,
ever watch it? Oh,
that's
now
the
it makes
fuss.
sense. Yeah, exactly.
No, in fact, it's something that you don't even need to do in the morning, right? Like, would like to be that person who meditates every day, but I'm not there yet. But anytime when I'm feeling extremely overwhelmed or something, like I'm in the middle of a fight, or just that anxiety is taking over me, I take out those 5 minutes and just sit in my bathroom floor. Instead of, while crying also, I'm listening to Andy be like, take a deep breath, and I'm like, ooh, okay, okay, okay. Like, it helps. It really helps. So 3 to 5 minutes is all it takes. And I think you're right, like it can really, really
Realign your whole
emotions and
mindset.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of sad that manifestation has become a sales pitch by these Instagram influencers, when in reality, it's just a very simple and cardinal process that literally exists right inside you that can help you build a life you love. And in part two, we've kind of talked about how manifestation can actually help you in negative situations also. In fact, just Drake, whose example we gave you in part one, posted this Instagram post during the pandemic, when obviously the whole world was at a standstill and there was so much suffering and panic. And he kind of touches on how life is not just about the Rolls Royces and the private pools, but and I'm going to quote him, he says, "We are powerful manifestors. So once you make the choice in the moment to shift your awareness to something good, it will show in your reality." And that was such a powerful thing to come from Drake, and I hope that it really helped a lot of his followers. And if you're listening to this today, I hope this is what you take out of this episode. All right, guys, our next episode is going to be about my most favorite thing in the world: money. I'm kidding. From barter to banknotes to crypto and NFTs, money is here to stay. We live in a world where billionaires put together can make the 4th richest country and are richer than 4.6 billion people combined. So stay tuned as we unpack a tiny piece of paper, and sometimes plastic, that quite literally rules the world. See you next time.
In any color you like.